Happy hump day, everybody. Welcome to the Vault XL. This commentary is pertaining to Henry Dinkins. He's been accused of killing a young girl who was a half-sister of his biological son 3 years ago. And he has penned a letter to the judge stating that he is innocent and that the state withheld evidentiary material vital to his case. Will he get a new trial, appeal, depending on the decision from the judge on Friday, the 15th? Will this letter hold weight with the judge in favor of Mr. Dinkins? Is he guilty of killing Breasia? That is the said information. I want to thank you for joining me. Let's get down to business, everybody. I also have more news updates to bring to you. I will put a poll up pertaining to this new information. The West trial pertaining to Jacqueline and Trezell West was the sentencing, was supposed to take place today, but the defense needs more time to bring forward, extra information that is, they deem vital to the sentencing phase of Jacqueline and Trezell West. That was supposed to take place today, the sentencing, but it was postponed. I will do another live to bring updates to other breaking news because I wanted to just do this video separately on its own. Once again, Jacqueline Trezell West sentencing was postponed today because the defense needs more time to bring forward more information for the sentencing phase. Thank you so much for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $Big Angie, 129 Cash App, stickers and chats are welcome during the live stream. Mr. Dinkins says he's innocent. Well, some of us would beg to differ. Mr. Dinkins, a lot of us believe you killed that girl for nefarious reasons. You felt like she was going tattletale because we hear that that's what she was. And most children are. And naturally, she would tell if she wanted to that someone has touched her inappropriately. You didn't want to go back to prison because you've been to prison. You know what prison is like, and you're thinking about that now while you are incarcerated. I don't want to go back there. I went there as a young man. I don't like it. But you deserve to be there, sir. WQAD News 8 is the source. Thank you for joining me.
We are just days away from the verdict in the trial of Henry Dinkins, the man accused of murdering Breasia Terrell back in 2020. But just yesterday, Dinkins wrote to the judge deciding his fate. Nina Burns joins us in studio to break down this letter in our continuing coverage tonight. Hi, Nina.
Hi, Linda. Dinkins cited multiple sectors of Iowa Rule of Criminal Procedures, all in an effort to prove the state sabotaged his case, claiming the state did not provide at least 50% of exhibits until the day of trial. Writing, quote, "If given the opportunity to prove this on record, I can show the deception and how they, the state, sabotage a lot in this case." He also cited multiple portions of Rule 1.517, an Iowa Rule of Criminal Procedures. That is the consequence of failure to make disclosures or discovery, even going as far to say any party who seeks to evade discovery risks consequences, which could involve imprisonment for contempt of court. Wow. Remember, Dinkins never spoke a word during his trial, which is his constitutional right. But a criminal murder trial is completely on the record, which he is asking for the opportunity for, begging the question, why now and not then? I'll send it back to you, Linda.
Exactly. Why now, Mr. Dinkins? Has somebody been in his ear about discovery? He says things weren't relayed until the day of the trial. It is breaking protocol not to give this information, the state to the defense. So has the state exacted an impropriety of evidentiary material later than they were supposed to? Number one. Will this have a bearing on the judgment from the judge on Friday, the 15th? September 15th is the day the judge will render a sentence. Will this new information favor Mr. Dinkins. Why didn't Mr. Dinkins testify on his own to aid in his defense? You're innocent, so you say. Then you should have been jumping up and down for joy to testify. But instead, you wanted a bench trial with a judge only, no jury. Many people in the law enforcement sector, judicial sector rather, question that. And you will probably, if you go back in the past couple of weeks and watch Law and Crime and Court TV, many attorneys question his decision to have a bench trial only. Did he think that it would be best to only be judged by the judge instead of a jury? That perhaps a jury would have given him life and maybe the judge would give him 20, 30 years. He gets out on good behavior to go back out and do it again. As I was speaking with someone yesterday that interviewed me for their criminology course, and they asked me, do I see the world getting better? Or what do I see wrong with the judicial system? No, I don't see the world getting better. And number two, what's wrong with the judicial system? Giving offenders bond. Now, naturally, your right is to defend yourself against an accusation. You have that right. But if you have other improprieties on your criminal records, such as nefarious dealings of the human spirit, such as rape, sodomy, kidnapping, murder, attempted murder, you should not get a bond. Then I learned today, listening to someone's channel, I'm going to play his commentary if he doesn't mind. I'm going to play his commentary. Mr. Dinkins had just got out of prison and or jail months before he killed Breasia. March. Got out for what? See, a lot of times when they give you information on the news, it's open-ended. Pookie went to jail. John went to jail. John kidnapped somebody. But they don't give you a date. So you're sitting here trying to figure out, and you're scrambling around through Google, trying to figure out when someone committed a crime. Just give me the damn date. It's weeks later, and I'm just now hearing, okay, he went to prison, jail, which I already knew he went to prison and jail. And he had to already been out of prison and jail to procreate the boy child that's younger than Breasia. Stay woke. So what was his last charge for? Why hadn't he given a new address to where he moved to? Allegedly, he had a trailer, but then he was staying with the lady friend. Which is it? See, all open-ended information. I like a receipt to things so I can gather my thoughts to render an adequate opinion. Because when you get half-baked information, you may judge things prematurely. But just from what I've seen during trial, Mr. Dinkins, in my opinion, is guilty of killing this young girl who was 10 at the time. I believe it. His attitude towards law enforcement, bickering with the mother, he walks off, she walks off. There was no regard for this girl child. And as you will hear this young man speak in his commentary, a YouTuber, he didn't want to come down hard on the mother, but like he said, there's no way you're going to tell me you didn't know he was a sex offender if he had just got out of jail for something in March of that year, and then he kills the girl in July. You're only talking about a couple of months. And then you had to have known he had committed a crime because you admitted it during a TV interview. Yeah, I questioned him being locked up so long, but yet you didn't tell the interviewer, oh yeah, by the way, he had been locked up for sexually assaulting a 5-year-old. So at what point did she learn he had a criminal record for sexual assault and went and did prison time? People talk. Small town people talk gossip. So if you knew he went to prison when you gave that interview, then you had to have known what he went to prison for. So then people are going to ask, when did you learn of his prison stint and the nature of the crime? Did you ask him, what did he go to prison for? If you asked him, what was his answer? And naturally, she's not going to tell us, the general public, yeah, I knew he raped a little girl, but I dated him anyway. I procreated a boy child with him anyway. I let him come around the kid on and off anyway. I let him come in and out of my house and lay up in my house when I had small children anyway. A boy and a girl. before she even made the baby with Mr. Dinkins. It's all buffoonery, and it's disgusting. And all these cases are the same, such as the YouTuber who's now in jail with her partner. I think they've been messing around. That's my personal opinion. How is it that the father didn't know his children were starving and locked in rooms? You go a whole damn year, you haven't seen your children. I think he needs to be arrested as well. Because you can't make that make sense to the general public. Why? You haven't seen your children. And now the mother and her partner are incarcerated. Make it make sense. Everybody's got a damn excuse. I didn't know. I'm sorry. Well, tell that to the dead kid. Tell that dead kid, hey, I'm sorry I brought a child molester around you. I'm sorry I procreated with a child molester. I'm sorry this guy did nasty things with you in the night and took you and shot you. I'm sorry your stupid girlfriend watched you stand outside the car in the wee hours and didn't think to get her lazy ass up and go down and say, hey, what the hell is this kid doing down here with you? I'm so very sorry. Breasia was failed. And that is what's wrong with the world. Jacked up parents, jacked up attitudes, sadists running around getting a free fucking ride. Bond. I noticed that too the other day. $35,000 on a bond and you just killed a guy and you got let out of the hospital on drugs. Found you behind the wheel of your car, send you to the hospital, you get out and then go kill a guy 30 minutes later. Right here in Knoxville, Tennessee. True story. Catch a drug charge, $30,000 bond. How the hell are they the same? You kill a person, $35,000 bond. You traffic drugs, $30,000 bond. Everybody's free. Then you wonder what's wrong with the world. This right here, the judge. You giving these people bonds. But as I told Miss Dawn, who is a fan of this network, without crime, you don't have a court system. You have no reason for a lawyer, lawyers, a judge, a clerk, a building. It's people committing crimes is what keeps the court building standing. You got to pay your taxes. You got to get licenses for businesses. Stay woke. You need crime to keep the court building open. Checkmate. So hell yeah, give them a bond. Give her a bond. We need the money. Let's get a little more information pertaining to this letter. Improprieties by the state, claims Mr. Dinkins. Does he have a case? Will it affect the judge's decision on Friday? Will he appeal the decision if indeed the judge finds him guilty of murder? Did the state withhold information to the defense? This is not good. I don't know a lot of legal wranglings, but it don't sound good to me. He says he didn't get information, evidentiary material, until the day of trial. Iowa law says he's supposed to have been gotten it. He and the defense. Lord have mercy. It never ends. I'm going to read you a little bit of information, everybody. Quad City Times is the source. The judge presiding over the first-degree murder and kidnapping trial of Henry Earl Dinkins has scheduled a hearing to render his verdict. Scott County District Judge Henry Latham, how interesting, they both have the same first name, has scheduled the verdict hearing for 9:05 a.m., September 15th. Dinkins, 51, is accused of kidnapping and shooting to death 10-year-old Breasia Terrell. Each of the murder and kidnapping charges is a Class A felony under Iowa law that carries an automatic sentence of life in prison without possibility of parole. Breasia was last seen either late July 9th or early July 2020. She spent the night with her brother, Dinkins' son, whom he had with Breasia's mother, at Dinkins' home during the time period she disappeared. Breasia's remains were discovered by fishermen on March 22nd, 2021, by a pond near DeWitt, and her identity was confirmed on March 31st, 2021. Latham presided over a 14-day bench trial in Scott County District Court in August. That is the sad information. Underneath this article are clips of pictures from the trial, pictures of the mother, the biological mother, and family members standing outside the courthouse when closing arguments took place on August 29th. And as I said before, the child was failed miserably. Because you see, this is the reason why we have true crime. Because nobody wants to be labeled a snitch. Nobody wants to get involved. But as a woman said to me the other day, she says a snitch only applies to you if you are involved in the crime. You telling on someone pertaining to murder, rape, robbery, you have nothing to do with it. That's not considered a snitch. And I thought about what she said, and it makes perfect sense. You weren't there. You didn't commit the robbery. You didn't aid in the robbery. You didn't aid in the assault. So how are you snitching because you saw a man walking down the street with a kid at 3 a.m.? How is that considered snitching? It's not. You know that somebody's been doing something they ain't got no damn business. But see, the street don't look at it like that. Street people consider you telling something that don't concern your damn business as a snitch. Well, in my eye, there is no snitching when it comes to the abuse of children. Neglect, rape, sodomy, whatever, however you want to word it. Kidnapping, fondling. And I say the same for adults too. You touch an adult, you're beating an adult, you're robbing an adult. How the hell is that being a snitch? Because in the end, you would want the same justice for you or your family members. So don't act like people shouldn't say anything pertaining to improprieties done against the human spirit. It is wrong. It is vile. And this is the reason criminals continue to walk the earth, because people don't want to open their mouths. And then, two, we have those who just don't give a fuck. Not my problem. I don't care. I meet a lot of people like this, particularly men, because usually they were raised by sadists and hard-nosed ass individuals. So they grow up being that way. Don't concern me, ain't my business. I don't care what they're doing across the street. I don't care. Let them set the house on fire. Burn down all the damn trees in the forest. Ain't my problem. Ain't my house. Ain't my kid. But then let something jump off with their children, their mother. They want everybody to get involved. They want everybody to call in. I know you saw something. No, we ain't seen nothing. You got a jacked up ass attitude. Well, my attitude jacked up too. I don't know nothing about what happened to your mama and your daddy. What you asking us to help you for? You don't care about the world. You're empty. You're devoid of emotion. So why are you asking us to care? You should not have to put the shoe on the other foot to have empathy for mankind. Now, there are days when some of us want to check out from all this foolishness. We get tired of hearing problems, bickering, bitching, moaning. So there's days, yeah, you say, I'm checking out. I don't want to hear nothing else today. Don't call me. I don't want to be bothered. But you do not want to have that attitude all the time. Checking out. Or as they say in the street, snitching. Because the world cannot get better if we just sit idly by and do nothing. You heard a scream, you saw pushing and shoving, fighting, you walked on by. Now somebody's dead. Now they're looking for a suspect. But you checked out. It's none of your business. None of your concern. You don't want to be that person. Because you can always remain anonymous if you end up or feel like your safety would be jeopardized, family safety, just make a call. Give a description, hang up the phone. What decision will the judge make on Friday pertaining to Mr. Dinkins' innocence or guilt? Will he find this man guilty of the murder of Breasia Terrell? Should other people have been brought in for child neglect? Because you see, I've noticed this with a lot of cases pertaining to our children. Cases I have covered on this network when I first came to YouTube, such as Camille McKinney down in Alabama, the West Boys, many others. And the one common denominator I came to realize affected all these children was janky-ass parenting. Jacked up parents, too young to be rearing children, don't give a fuck about being a mommy and a daddy, and checking out. Not watching their children, letting their children run up and down the damn street, hanging around in the projects, late night, early evening, whatsoever. It's dark. Dark 30, babies don't have no business outside. Why are these people not being brought up on child neglect charges? Mistreating your children, allowing different Tom, Dicks, and Harrys to be in the vicinity of your children to break your kids' legs and arms and beat them up. But you don't know nothing. State comes in, takes your children, and then your children get placed with more sinister people who end up killing your damn kids that you no longer have custody of. All the stories are eerily similar. But God forbid for the Queen to say anything about some of these dusty-ass parents. This is what's wrong with the world. Stop coddling these motherfuckers. I'm sick of it. Every waking story. Man beats up a 2-year-old, and the girlfriend been seeing the bruises on the kid and still allows the man to stay around her kid and keep her kid. Now the kid's dead. And his sister's jumping up on TV talking about what her brother would not do. He ain't the type. I want to see a receipt. You want to see what, heifer? The baby dead. That's your receipt. How stupid do you sound to say, I need a receipt? Oh, from the medical examiner? The medical examiner has something to prove to you? The medical examiner don't owe you a damn thing. The baby is dead. That's the receipt. A healthy baby doesn't end up battered and bruised on his or her own. How many times could a baby fall downstairs or bump into the coffee table to end up dead? You know damn well your brother beat that baby to sleep, and you got the nerve to sit up and say, you need a receipt. And he already owned that, yeah, I've whooped the child too hard on occasion. So what makes you think if a person is admitting that they've whooped the child too hard, that they couldn't have killed the child? What the hell is wrong with you? This is what I'm talking about. Aiding these monsters. Monsters in denial, walking the earth, exacting harm against humans. And then you got these slap-ass folks want to pat them on the back and act like they ain't done nothing. Such as Mr. Dinkins' stupid sister. She's another dum-dum. He ain't the type. He's been to prison for messing with a 5-year-old, you dizzy bitch. The hell are you talking about? He ain't the kind. Well, then what the fuck was he doing in prison? Another dodo bird. Guess she needs a receipt too. Well, Breasia's dead. Is that receipt good enough for you? Shot 3 times. She didn't shoot herself. And how the fuck did she get way out 30, 40 fucking miles out in a pond? Oh, but you need a receipt. Your brother ain't the type. Oh, they ain't never the type. Evidentiary material that they're sadists, been in the penitentiary for raping a 5-year-old, but you gonna tell me Me and my brother, we are two peas in a pod. We are so close. He would do anything for me. And as I said in one of my live streams, ma'am, are you trying to tell us that possibly you've been molested by your brother? And you're still defending that creep years later after he's raped a 5-year-old and now killed a whole 10-year-old girl child? But he ain't the type. He would do anything for me. Yeah, like touch you inappropriately. How about that? Somebody in your household taught somebody how to touch people inappropriately. Most child molesters have been molested, Miss Lady. So now I have to ask you, because I know you're stupid and you won't answer the question, who touched you all in your household? Were you ever molested, ma'am? Mommy, daddy, brother, uncle, somebody touched you all, taught Mr. Dinkins to touch children inappropriately. Or he was just curious, started molesting you all or other children young, and then continued to molest as an 18-year-old. I'm just saying. This is not a joke out here. These are real people out here, real children out here. Children do not ask to be here. They don't choose their parents. They don't go in a little mommy and daddy store and, get to choose a parent. And yet you people bring these children here and you just don't give a damn about them. They're just, a bag of Skittles to you. Dig in, pull your few out, pop them in your mouth. Done, throw the bag over somewhere and start on a new bag of potato chips. That's how you all view children. Like, like they're food or something. Yeah, I'm tired of eating this. Let me go over here. Just the way kids do toys. I'm tired of playing with this toy. Let me pick up another toy. They're real. They're real little people. And as the doctor said once, your baby cries because he can't talk. The toddler cries because he can't talk. So you flip out, wig out because a baby's crying, and next thing you know, you're breaking an arm, breaking a neck, now your baby's dead. Boyfriend, girlfriend's upset at the baby, don't like him, mad, jealous, whatever the fucking problem is. Boom, 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 baby dead. Now we're hiding babies in trash bags and shit. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Every waking story. YouTubers making videos about how great their lives are, and they're sitting up here starving their damn kids. And you all been liking the videos, probably contributing to their channels. This is why I keep trying to tell you, you don't know people. We're all flawed, but some of us are jacked up. Like bad jacked up. And we need mad therapy. Mad therapy. Stop upholding people that you do not know. Stop bragging about people you do not know. Just stop it. And stop aiding them when evidence has been shown that they are guilty of wrongdoing, especially improprieties against persons that are nefarious in nature. You have no right to be upholding a child molester or a rapist or a murderer, serial killer. Why? Just stop it. Let me bring you some commentary from another YouTuber, his personal perspective, and then I'm going to check out of here. Thank you all so much for your time. What will the judge say on Friday pertaining to Mr. Dinkins? Will he say innocent or will he say guilty? The charges carry a maximum life sentence without the possibility of parole. What will his fate be? We will see. Oh, Lord have mercy. Help me, Jesus. Pretty girl snuffed out. And I believe Dinkins' girlfriend should have been tried. And I also believe the mother. And we have got to stop letting these people get a pass because the crime is so horrific. and you don't want to bring more trouble to the person. Doesn't matter. If the courts can show, or investigation can show, a person had knowledge of a person committing devious crimes, and they allowed those said persons to be the company of their children, then they should go down as well. That's my personal opinion. Because I doubt she didn't know the mother. She knew his past before she even made a baby with him. And I believe that. And the fact that he was never in the life of the boy child, she knew. She probably turned the other cheek and said, well, he wants to spend time with his son. I'll let him keep the baby. But sadly, Berasia went along. And as I've told you, a lot of people are dual offenders. They molest boys and girls. So we don't really know if this man is a dual offender. So a boy child is not safe in the custody of a child molester. Even if you think the child molester only molests girls. A sadist is a sadist. One second, everybody. I'm trying to find this man's channel here. And so many people have so much content pertaining to this debacle. Right now, everything's coming up pertaining to the trial. I'm trying to find this guy's channel. Well, I'm not bringing up anybody else's content. Just one second, please. I'm trying to find this. I can't understand how he was out. What was he in jail for months before he killed this little girl? It's very disturbing to me. Let me go into YouTube queue. I might find it in there. Parts of this life are so evil. Yeah. Sadly. Yes. Every adult in her life failed her. And you see how ignorant the grandmother spoke. Just ridiculous. And that escaped murderer, Danilo Conte, has been apprehended, for those that have been following that case. There's one lady I've listened to pertaining to Henry Dinkins. Her name is Donna Just Being Real. She has a YouTube channel. She has some very interesting commentary pertaining to Mr. Dinkins. She calls him Ham Hock. Oh, my goodness. And an update in the Idaho murders. The victims' families push for cameras to be allowed in Brian Kohlberger's trial. Law and Crime Network has that information if you would like to read it. I'm going to open this lady's video because I think this will lead me to this other guy's channel. Hold on one second. So I can find it. For some reason, I can't find it. So I was wanting you all to hear this guy's commentary. Oh, did you see it, lady? It's amazing. Everything, you're not looking for something, it pops up. I don't know why. I can't. It's not coming up for some reason. Okay. Well, and I can't remember his name. It's strange. Because everything that's coming up pertaining to Dinkins is news outlets, not any YouTubers' content. Why? I don't know. Yeah, everything's about the trial. I don't see any content from others. I don't know why they don't have anything else. So I can't remember the guy's name. Man, I wanted you all to hear what he had to say. Let me see if I just posted his name. Still the same videos keep coming up. This is weird. Well, I don't know why I can't find anything. I mean, no other content holders. This is strange to me. It's all news. Sorry about that, everybody. So I wanted you all to hear this guy's commentary, but I can't find his channels. I can't remember his name. And I'm bad with names. Let me go to my channel. Maybe I saved it in my on my channel. I think I did. That's the only way I can keep up with anything. If I share it to my community page, because I think I've shared some of his content before. God, I hope I did. So much madness on here. I can't find it. It's weird. I have to see if he I saved any of his other content. What a mess. When I sit here and look through all these videos on here, it's just sad that all these are just depressing stories about murder. I'm not just looking on my community page. Nothing positive. Death. That's it. Nothing but death. It's ridiculous. And I just can't get over this YouTuber about her kids, 8 passengers. It's just sad. Let me open this lady's video. Let me see if something comes up under her. Sorry I'm holding you all up. So I was really wanting you all to listen to some things this guy had to say, but I can't find his YouTube channel. And nothing's coming up. I want to thank you all for joining me. Let me see what's under trending. Anything comes up. No. But sometimes under other people's videos, there'll be other content holders' commentary. Let me see. I don't see anything. This is so strange, because usually this guy's content pops up. I don't know why I don't see anything. It's very weird. Well, I'm going to ask you all in the chat, what do you think the sentencing will be? Will the judge give him life in prison without parole? We'll go there. Or will this information that he's brought forward pertaining to evidentiary material withheld until the day of trial, will it have any bearing on the judge's decision? And as you heard in his commentary, why is he just now mentioning this? Why didn't he say something earlier? Why didn't his lawyer say something? Find that strange. Thousands of true crime, just so many crazy nonsense. I don't know why nothing's coming up. This is very weird. And it comes up when I'm not looking for it. Lady Lola, you think he's going to be found guilty? I mean, not guilty, but life without parole? What do you think? It's usually when you'll continue watching, they'll show you stuff that you've watched, other people's content. I don't see anything from earlier. I would like to talk about this Ruby Frank business. Maybe later. Because this is just absolutely baffling to me. She's trying to blame her child as being a child molester of other children. So it's like, why would you mention that now? Which is in very poor taste. You've been arrested, you and your business partner, and the only thing you can think to do is throw your own child under the bus. As a child molester. There are no words. Well, I don't see it under here. I'm gonna let you all go. When I find it, I may just play it at another time. This thing is weird. It's not nothing of his content is coming up. It's weird, and I can't remember his name. We go through 1,000 of these videos in the queue trying to find it, and I don't see anything. Because he just uploaded the content. It's very strange. And this other mess with Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, whatever her name is, they're defending that guy who's been found guilty of rape. It's strange to me too. It's exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, you think you know him, so you want to uphold him. Well, now. It's just sad. I don't know why. Let me try typing another name in up here. As soon as you get off with us, you'll find it. Yeah, I know, lady. I hate holding you all like this, but I really wanted you all to see. Listen to this content because he gets straight to the business. I like his content. So now it's going to all the videos I watch. This just pisses me off because I can't find it. And I can't get over that guy shooting his sister who was pregnant. That was crazy. And her husband. It's like, what is wrong with these people? I just can't believe they don't have. Nothing is coming up. This is just strange to me. There's so many subjects I want to talk about, I can't even keep up. Well, I'm going to get off here. I guess I'll find it eventually. Sorry to keep you all waiting, trying to find it, because it's just weird. It's not even coming up in the queue for some reason. On Friday, Henry Dinkins will get his fate from the judge. The judges will give a decision about if he will be set free or life without prison, life in prison without the possibility of parole. He's facing kidnapping charges and murder charges of Breasia Terrell. And as I said, I feel that the child was failed. Many people have said they feel the same. And I still believe something should be done about the mother and the girlfriend. And that's another thing that I'm sick of as well. People who, as I said, have knowledge of crimes, aid in the crimes, indirectly or directly, and they end up turning state's evidence and nothing happens to them, such as with this girlfriend. You were there. You were there and you did nothing. And then the mother knew about this man's past. I'm not going to sit here and think that she didn't. She knew, and she did nothing. And the grandmother was stupid to let her out of the house when she wasn't even invited to go with Mr. Dinkins and his son. And you let her walk out the house anyway. And you listen to a damn child tell you, oh, she can come, as if you're not even an adult. See, all this is bullshit to me. And it's sickening to me that nobody takes responsibility for anything. And then they sit on TV and they whine and they cry and they fall out and they protest and put pictures of dead kids on T-shirts and stuff when you are the parent. And everything starts with you, not the street, not other relatives, not other children, but you. You are the parent. So the buck stops with you. Hello, Shiro's Nation. Thank you for joining me. The buck stops with you. And the grandmother, when she was testifying, another ignorant bird. I don't question my grandchildren. Well, that's why she's dead. Because you don't question anything. That's possibly why your daughter is a dodo bird. This is a generational curse. Ignorant grandmother, ignorant mother, and wayward children, children doing what they want, children telling grown people, oh, she can come. You don't pay any bills, little boy. You don't tell me who can leave my house. I said she can't go. She can't go. Maybe this little girl will be alive today. But let me tell you something, and listen to me very carefully. If it wasn't Breasia Terrell, it was going to be somebody else. Checkmate. That's the gist of the story. It was going to be somebody's dead girl. It just so happened to be the boy's sister. That's my commentary for today. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $ Big Andrew 129 Cash App, stickers and chats are welcome during the live stream. Thank you for joining me. I will get back with you all because I have some content that's been on the back burner. And it's just hard for me to get all of it out because every day there's an update to this, to that. These people, if they would sit down somewhere and stop killing people, we would have not much to talk about. We'd have to find something else to talk about and make a video about. And really, I get tired of talking about murder because it's negative. And I always tell myself, you can invite trouble in by talking about it all the time. I do believe in what the scripture says. Speak it and it shall be so. You can draw negativity to your own door. That's why I don't like talking about the children's stories. And really, I want to lay off talking about people being murdered. I just think it's a bad omen. Yeah, Shiro, I did. I did look at my last history, and I didn't see it. For some reason, his channel is not coming up. I don't know why. It's strange, and I can't remember his name. But I wanted you all to hear his commentary because he had just uploaded a video about this Dinkins writing a letter to the judge. Yeah, but I like to keep the content flowing while I'm live because you all have other things to do. So all this dead space is taking up airtime. But I thank you all for following the content. When I get back on here, I don't know if it'll be tonight. It may be tomorrow. But my plan is to talk about the Scientology versus the Mormon Church. There's too much stuff floating around about these religions, and I want to knock them out of the ballpark because it's something that's been on my mind a while. Pertaining to all these people involved with this Latter-day Saints. Every time you turn around, there's something negative with these people that worship this church and the Scientology as well, allegations of this and that. I want to talk about both of these religions because they both have had heinous people committing crimes. And I want to know what the hell is wrong. Now, naturally, someone can say, well, the Baptists do things, the Catholics, well, we're not talking about them. We're not talking about them. We're not talking about Islam. We're not talking about the Baptists. We're not talking about the Lutheran, the Methodists. We know that all people commit crimes and they walk in all faiths. They're not the subject matters. I want to talk about this Scientology. And I want to talk about this Latter-day Saints business. Because I'm seeing a little trend as of late. And Lori Vallow, Daybell, comes to mind. And now here comes this 8 passengers YouTuber, Miss Ruby Frank. There is something sinister with these people and them following this religion. I want to know what the hell is going on. And I'd like to know, is it a possibility that the church bears some responsibility, which we know, as I said, you're entitled to worship God as you see fit. But is this church teaching things they should not be teaching? Same thing with Scientology. Are you teaching these people to be sinister? Or these people are already warped? Or it's a little bit of both? I think this will be a very interesting topic. I will drop the link on that live stream. And I will try to be as respectful as I can. But there's something sinister. And I think both of the religions, and I'm going to say that, because I'm noticing a trend of problems with these people in these religions. And that Leah Remy, some of her allegations are just crazy as well. What is going on? Is it the church? Or the people are already tainted and they're getting misconceived information or led about erroneously? What is the truth? I call it grooming religion. Yes, exactly. Well said. Grooming. That might be the title of my video. Religion grooming. Scientology versus the Mormon Church. Because this is something that is becoming a trend and it's not nice. And these people, you can see they're devout. And that's the trouble. That's what's troublesome. You keep mentioning, I'm this, I'm a Latter-day Saint, I'm this, I'm Scientology, I'm this. As if, you're acting like a zombie, your damn self when you talk, when you speak. And I was listening to this last night about this Ruby Frank business. I believe it was on Law and Crime. It was. He was interviewing the husband's attorney. And the attorney couldn't say why they separated. But it was on the guise of the wife thought it was a good idea for him not to be in the house, I think from her so-called friend. I'll call her lover because they act like they're sleeping together. The lady she's arrested with. What in the world would possess you to stay away from your kids a whole 13 months on the guise of your wife and or her friend, business partner, saying that was a good idea? Well, guess what? It wasn't a good idea because both of them are arrested with no bond. So that should tell you something right there. And for a whole year, you never video or Skype with your children. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. I say he goes down too, because you can't explain to me, Mr. Lawyer, what type of person he is. He ain't the type to mistreat or hurt his children. Well, he did. You brought those kids here. You want to say logically in front of a viewing audience that it was okay for a man to go a year and not see or speak to his damn children from the recommendation of another fucking bobblehead, such as, I'm going to call Ruby Frank's girlfriend. That's a girlfriend. I believe those two were bumping tail or something. There's something off with that lady charging $800 for speaking engagements. Who are you to tell me what I should do and pay you a lot of money to tell me what I should do with my life. You're not arrested for child abuse. Checkmate. Because you're not. I can do bad all by myself. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Listening to people who don't have their own shit together. That's why I claimed my own mess during a live stream the other day, saying I put my foot in my own mouth on things I say I shouldn't be doing and telling other people what they shouldn't be doing. As I saw a post on some girl's channel, sometimes it's best you just don't say nothing and give no advice. You live your own truth. And people can see by how you're living. But that still doesn't mean you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because even that is deceiving, how things look. Because we know that is a prime example of true crime. They looked happy. They seemed happy. But then we find out all these dirty things, such as this mess here with Ruby Frank tying up a child's feet, bondage, jumping out of a window with his ankles duct taped. Other people saying, yeah, I noticed that something was wrong with the children. They weren't eating. See, all this is BS. You hear this time and time again. I called DCS. I called DHS. I filed a complaint. And then now we got a dead kid, malnourished kid, barely hanging on to life. Not enough workers to work the cases. Oh, ain't got enough information. Don't sound like child abuse. Close the case. Don't open the case. It's all the same. The protocols nowadays for children and neglect, as far as DCS, trust me when I say this, and I'm speaking from experience, something bad has to happen for the world to know the truth. And I think we have seen this already when it comes to abuse with children. The protocols for DHS to open a case, it is a personal decision if they decide they want to open a case on your allegation. And it doesn't mean that even when they go to the house, that the people, they don't necessarily lose their children right then. Because they got to see something. And that's why I said it's usually a worst case scenario when DHS is introduced into a story, a case. The police stumbled across child neglect, child abuse, children in bondage, tied up, hid, or the child escapes the house. Law enforcement is called, and then we go to the house and see how they're actually living, and then here comes the charges. By then, it's too late. You're welcome, sweetheart. Thank you all so much for your time. I'll get back with you all. The next live stream, I want to talk about Scientology and the Mormon Church. I will drop the link. Feel free to come up and give your opinion. If you have any experience with either religion, you've been a part of the religion, you're currently in the religion, feel free to comment on your experience. Because it's helpful when people are actually in the religion and can give their personal experience. But I'm going to bring you said cases that are sinister, that are pertaining to the Scientology religion and also the Latter-day Saints. We're going to talk about that. You all have a wonderful afternoon. Mind the children. If you see something, say something. Be a part of the solution and not the problem. Once again, that fugitive that was on the run up in Pennsylvania, he's now been apprehended. The West sentencing of Trezell and Jacqueline has been postponed today because the defense needs more time to bring forward some information for the sentencing phase. And Mr. Dinkins will get his fate in Iowa on Friday at 9:05 a.m. And I believe that's about an hour behind Eastern Standard Time. So that would be 10:05 Eastern Standard Time. He claims he's innocent. The state did not bring information until the day of trial. Evidentiary material. Iowa law says this is an impropriety. Will this hold weight in favor of him? What will the judge render? Life without parole? What will the judge decide? Please go to my community board after this live stream. I will put up 1 or 2 more posts pertaining to the information in this live stream and other breaking news. You have been listening to The Vault XL. Thank you.